Do you know what this stands for? It stands for Control of Substances Hazardous to Health. It was first introduced in the autumn of 1988, and prior to these regulations being brought in, there were cases back in the 1960s, 70s and early 80s when many accidents occurred because there was no real legal deterrent for companies to worry about. There were cases of unscrupulous employers giving their staff harmful chemicals to use. They were not given any training or the necessary PPE to use the chemicals correctly and safely. Because of this lack of any real regulation, in the 1980s, the HSE came down hard on the whole industry and said that new tougher legislation was to be introduced under which people at all levels, whether they be the manufacturer, the distributor, employer or employee, would now become accountable for their own actions. Employers must now give their staff all the necessary information, training and equipment to use chemicals correctly and safely. If you work with hazardous substances, then please familiarize yourself with the following points: the risks to health caused by exposure, precautions which need to be taken, the purpose and use of engineering control measures, for example, extraction systems, the use of personal protective equipment, PPE, the emergency procedures, result of any workplace monitoring, if applicable, and your occupational health record, if applicable. Both employers and employees have responsibilities under COSHH. However, as an employee, you must cooperate with your employer, for example, by attending training courses, always use control measures designed to reduce exposure, correctly use, store, clean and maintain the PPE equipment provided, report any problems with the PPE or any of the equipment, report non-compliance with or shortcomings in the safe systems of work, and cooperate with the risk assessment process. How would you know if a substance is hazardous or not? All containers that carry a hazardous substance must display one or more of the above hazard symbols. Please familiarize yourself with them. Hazardous products can come in containers of all shapes and sizes. However, regardless of the size or shape of the container, if the product within it is hazardous, it must display the appropriate hazard symbol or symbols. The first place that will show you whether or not a product is hazardous is the product label. If necessary, it will display one or more of the required symbols, which will instantly tell you if there is a hazard with that product. Once alerted by this, you should then go on to read the health and safety paragraph which backs up and endorses the symbol or symbols. These paragraphs will tell you if the product is hazardous, what PPE is required, how to use the product correctly, and other relevant health and safety information. The second place to find information is safety data sheets, otherwise known as SDSs. As we've previously seen, some chemical containers can be quite small, and manufacturers cannot always get the necessary health and safety information on them. Therefore, they have to create and provide safety data sheets. Manufacturers have to list 16 headings on their safety data sheets, and it would need to cover such things as the chemical formulation, how the product should be transported and stored, action in the event of any spillages, and first aid control measures. Safety data sheets are important pieces of paper, and both digital and hard copies should be kept of them. Digital copies should be kept on the desktop of the relevant person within the building that deals with health and safety. The first hard copy should be kept as a master folder with an index of all departments showing which chemicals are used in the different areas. This should be kept behind reception or in the GM's office for cases of emergency and to provide easy access for paramedics or the fire brigade. The second hard copy should be a local folder kept in chemical store areas so that the relevant staff know where this information is and can have easy access to it. Safety data sheets will give you vital details on the substance that you're working with, which includes the physical and health hazards, safety procedure, and possible emergency actions. Information that will keep you safe. They contain all the necessary information to handle the product correctly and to deal with any spillage or emergency action that may be required. In extreme cases, safety data sheets should be taken with the patient to the hospital to help medical staff administer the correct treatment. PPE, personal protective equipment. As a minimum requirement, everyone who uses chemicals should be provided with hand protection and eye protection. The hand protection could be something as simple as disposable gloves for general cleaning or household gloves for stronger chemicals. In some instances, gauntlet gloves for heavy raw materials might also be required. Eye protection could include something as simple as wraparound safety specs, normal goggles, or over specs. PPE for deep cleans. Staff that undertake these operations should be provided with additional PPE to include the following. Overalls. Rather than the heavy-duty green PVC overalls, the lightweight blue semi-disposable overalls should be provided to staff that undertake these operations. Additionally, Wellington boots. Do not scrub out using strong chemicals wearing tracksuit bottoms or trainers with nylon inserts or stitching because these will deteriorate quickly over a period of time. Wear Wellington boots. Dust and mist masks. These should be considered if using strong chemicals in confined areas or with possible areas that do not have good natural ventilation. Also, they can be considered by staff who may be particularly sensitive when using some of these chemicals. Safe substance management, including COSHH. As well as the safety data sheets, Places Leisure must make assessments on all products that are supplied to the users. This will indicate information from the safety data sheets. Further risk assessments will be made, including safe systems of work for the staff to follow guidance and procedures on how to use a product. Safe systems of work will be shown later on in this presentation. Colour coding. The British Institute of Cleaning Science issued guidelines for colour coding of equipment such as cleaning cloths, mop heads, buckets, brushes, etc. This is to eliminate cross-infection that might be caused, for example, a cloth being used in a washroom and a toilet facility, then being used on a food prep surface or a cafeteria table. Colour coding, labelling. CGS Paramount and other chemical manufacturers have introduced a colour code system for their product labels to identify their chemicals. It helps staff to recognise the nature of the product they are about to handle and hopefully reduces the cases of any accidents occurring. It is based upon the litmus paper test, which you may recall from your chemistry lessons at school. When the litmus paper is dipped into an acidic solution, it will turn red. Into an alkaline solution, it will turn blue, and into a neutral solution, it will turn green. Color coding, labels, and supporting information. The color-coded system runs throughout the CGS Paramount range of products and supporting material and includes safety data sheets, product information sheets, product labels on bulk containers, product labels on flip-top bottles, and product labels on hand sprays. Product labels. All of CJS Paramount's product containers carry the appropriate color-coded label. However, caution, the PPE requirement within the same color banding may differ considerably. Red labels. There are some very mild acidic solutions such as citric acid and some sulfamic or phosphoric acids that would only require minimum PPE. However, there are also stronger hydrochloric and sulfuric acid solutions that will require extra care when handling and further PPE. Please read the label and safety datasheet. Blue labels. The same can apply to alkaline solutions. Some have very low alkalinity and only minimum PPE would be required, whilst others, such as steam cleaner additives and oven cleaners, are highly alkaline and need additional PPE. Please refer to the product label and safety datasheet. Green labels. Even though a large number of neutral solutions would not necessarily be classified as hazardous, there are also some exceptions. Again, please read the product label and the safety datasheet. User charts. These are an immediate visual aid that can be referred to and tell you what product to use, the method for use, where necessary the dilution rate, and they will also show you what the hazard symbol is and what the PPE requirement is to wear. The core range used. The following slides cover the core range of chemicals which are the solutions most used. The slides will tell you why these products are brought into the building, what their purpose is, how they should be used, and all the relevant PPE requirements. Evans Toilet Cleaner and Descaler. Description: an acidic-based toilet cleaner and descaler for daily cleaning and disinfection of all porcelain and stainless steel toilet facilities. Used regularly, it will help prevent limescale and urate scale buildup. Directions: use undiluted from the bottle and direct under the toilet rim and around all the inside surfaces. Agitate with the toilet brush and flush the cistern. For stubborn stains and scale deposits under the waterline, use toilet brush in a plunge action to remove as much water as possible and apply the product directly. Agitate, leave for 2 minutes and then flush the cistern. PPE requirement is to wear disposable gloves and if the risk exists, to wear eye protection. Scale off deep clean descaler. Description: an acidic descaling solution for deep clean operations of floor surfaces in wet areas such as pool surrounds, shower and changing room flooring. It is safe on most quarry tile and thermoplastic flooring. However, we would advise that a test patch is carried out first. Directions: apply to the area that you feel needs treatment. If it fizzes, foams and reacts, it indicates that there are minerals there and the product should be used. Number of ways in which this product can be used. Firstly, spot cleaning. Dilute into a flip-top bottle and use in conjunction with a pad holder fitted with a brown pad. Do not use this product with a hand spray as we do not want it being atomized into the immediate area. Only use with a flip top bottle. Floors. Divide the floor area into a 2 to 3 meter section and clean each section at a time. Dilute into a bucket. Dip the floor pad holder fitted with a brown pad into the solution. Apply to the floor and leave for 3 to 4 minutes. Re-wet with water and then use either a wet vacuum or mop to remove the minerals and deposits that you've just loosened. Then rinse down with fresh water. Machine cleaning. Apply the product with a watering can or bucket, scrub with the machine and then vacuum up. Ensure that the machine is thoroughly rinsed out with fresh water afterwards. Precautions. Do not use this product when members of the public are using the facilities. Do not mix this product with bleach-based chemicals. Avoid contact with chrome and stainless steel. Rinse off promptly if this occurs. PPE requirement. Spot cleaning. Household gloves and safety specs are required. Additional PPE for floor cleaning includes Wellington boots and overalls. Confined spaces. Ensure that adequate ventilation is provided by opening the surrounding doors and windows. However, a disposable dust and mist mask could also be considered. Azure Fresh. Regular use descaler. Description. A mild regular use descaler for all vertical surfaces within wet areas such as shower wall tiles, shower controls, pipes, taps, etc. to remove thin deposits of lime scale. Directions. Dilute into a hand spray as shown, apply to the surface and use a hand pad holder fitted with a blue pad to agitate the surface. Rinse off and wipe down and dry with a microfiber cloth. Use once or twice a week to keep mineral deposits to a minimum. Can be used on chrome and stainless steel and used in conjunction with a white pad for these surfaces. Precautions. Do not mix this product with bleach-based chemicals. PPE requirement. General use, just disposable gloves are required. However, eye protection should be worn if the risk of contact exists, and also if used in a poorly ventilated area, a dust and mist mask could be considered. Hyphene daily use cleaner and disinfectant. Description. A potent alkaline-based disinfectant and degreaser that will destroy the bacteria which causes skin-related infections such as dermatitis, verruca and athlete's foot. The special formulation means that it will also cut through soap scum, body fats, oils and suntan lotions that get deposited on floors and walls. It should be used daily to clean and disinfect all skin contact surfaces. Directions. Hand spray. Dilute as shown and simply spray on and wipe off. Floor surfaces. Dilute into a bucket. Dip a deck scrubber head into the solution, scrub in and then hose down and squeegee off the surface. Machine cleaning. Apply the product to the floor with either a watering can or bucket. Scrub in with the machine and then vacuum up. Ensure the machine is thoroughly rinsed out with fresh water afterwards. PPE requirement. General use, disposable gloves are required. Additional PPE for consideration: wear eye protection if the risk of contact exists, wear enclosed footwear if using scrubbing out, consider a disposable dust and mist mask if using in a poorly ventilated area. Paratroop heavy duty cleaner. Description. A highly alkaline solution that can be used on most washable surfaces. It will effectively remove oil, grease, ink, carbon, nicotine, dirt and grime from a variety of surfaces including floors, walls, ceilings, skirting boards and doors. Surfaces can be painted when dry, and a leisure environment can also be used to clean and degrease scum troughs within the swimming pool. Directions. Hand spray. Dilute as shown and simply spray on and wipe off. Floor surfaces. Dilute into a bucket, dip a floor pad holder into the solution, scrub in and then hose down and squeegee off the surface. Machine cleaning. Apply product to the floor with either a watering can or bucket, scrub in with the machine and then vacuum off. Rinse the machine out thoroughly with fresh water afterwards. PPE requirement. General use. Disposable gloves are required. Additional PPE for consideration. Wear eye protection if the risk of contact exists. Wear enclosed footwear if scrubbing out on a floor surface. Consider a disposable dust and mist mask if using in a poorly ventilated area. Paraglass, glass and mirror cleaner. Description. A concentrated glass and mirror cleaner for effective cleaning of sheet glass, double glazing and mirrored surfaces. It can also be used to clean and shine chrome and stainless steel, ceramic and marble wall tiles. Directions. Dilute into a hand spray, apply sparingly and use either a window squeegee blade to remove or a cloth to clean and buff. Best results are achieved either with a paper hand towel or a cotton cloth. Do not use man-made cloths such as Britex or J cloths as they contain bonding agents and when they meet the solution can leave surfaces very smeary. PPE requirement. General use. Disposable gloves are required. Additional PPE for consideration. Wear eye protection if risk of contact exists. The following slides cover additional chemicals that may be used within different centres. Please identify the products that you use and ensure that all the instructions for the correct and safe use of the products are fully understood.